I learned my name through other people, through reflections I didn't choose. Every compliment came with borders, every label came with rules. I knew how to play the version that felt safest in the room. I smiled at the right moments, left my questions in the gloom. I memorized acceptable answers, knew when to nod, when to agree. I sounded like I had direction, but none of it sounded like me. I followed outlines drawn in pencil, afraid to press too hard, scared that if I traced my own shape I'd tear the paper apart. Somewhere between approval and fear, I forgot why I was here. I stopped being who they expected, stopped shrinking into their design. I didn't break, I just redirected. I took my time. I stopped being who they expected, and nothing collapsed or burned. Turns out losing a borrowed identity is how your own gets learned. There's a strange relief in confusion when it finally feels like yours. When you're not performing certainty, just standing in open doors. I let go of perfect timing, let go of being right. Some answers don't show up polished, they arrive unfinished, quiet. I stopped comparing my chapters to pages I hadn't read. Some stories move without urgency, they don't rush to be ahead. I didn't suddenly feel fearless, I just felt less controlled. There's a difference between being empty and finally being unfilled. If I don't match what they imagine, that doesn't mean I failed. I stopped being who they expected, stopped chasing their approval tone. I wasn't lost, I was redirected back toward my own. I stopped being who they expected, and the silence didn't scream. It felt like space I could finally use to hear myself think. Days feel different when I name, when I don't rank them by result. I don't turn progress into numbers, I don't measure growth by fault. I speak slower, choose my moments, not to sound deep, just to be clear. I don't owe urgency explanations, I don't apologize for being here. Some people like the older version, the one that stayed in line, but that version was always tired of pretending it was fine. I don't blame them for missing it, I just don't live there anymore. I needed room to contradict myself and still walk through the door. If I disappoint a few expectations, but finally align with my own, is that really losing something or returning what was lost? Maybe identity isn't solid, maybe it's allowed to move. Maybe the bravest thing I've done is let myself change view. I stopped being who they expected, and I didn't disappear. I became more precise, more honest, standing right here. I stopped being who they expected, no spotlight, no defense, just a quieter kind of confidence. Extended out so high as I don't announce who I'm becoming, I let it show when it's ready. I don't rush clarity, I let it arrive steady. If they ask me who I am now, I won't answer with a role. I'll say I'm listening closely to what feels whole. Some paths don't look impressive from a distance or a glance, but they feel like standing upright instead of balancing a stance. I stopped being who they expected, and for the first time, that feels like freedom. Not rebellion, not escape, just alignment. I stopped being who they expected and finally stayed.